The turquoise waters off the Peloponnese coast are becoming warmer, and fishermen in this small Greek town are noticing. Every day in Neapoli is a battle to retrieve fish, one that Ioannis Kapakos feels he is losing. Lately, his hauls have dramatically reduced.
Before, I used to catch up to 10 to 12 kilos of fish here. Today, the amount of fish has decreased by at least 50%.
A hardy, invasive threat has been proliferating in the area for more than 2 years. It's called the lionfish.
It is very beautiful. The problem is that it eats all the other fish eggs.
It has 18 venomous spines and no predators in the Mediterranean Sea.
Here comes another one. And you see, today we caught a sea bream. 3 to 4 good fish, from the ground bird to a tentacle fish. And the rest are lionfish. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6.
The lionfish is native to the Indian Ocean, but as the climate has shifted, it has been attracted to warmer waters in the Mediterranean and entered through the Suez Canal. It was first spotted in Israel in 1991, then Lebanon in 2012, before it spread to Cyprus in 2014. Now it's taken hold in southern Greece. Little known and considered dangerous, lionfish do not sell here. The dozens of kilos caught daily end up in the bin.
If we can't sell this fish, I want to give up my fishing license and do something else. I don't know. Maybe be a waiter because the sea, it's finished.
But there is one solution. If you can't beat it, eat it. Nearby on the small Greek island of Elafinissos, an environmental organisation is trying to create a supply chain.
The first step is to remove the spine, which is the hardest and most dangerous, as they cause a lot of pain. And there you have it. Now the fish is harmless.
Matteo Cavesi, an Italian volunteer, visits restaurant kitchens to explain how to prepare lionfish, which has many qualities.
They only eat small, young fish that do not yet have heavy metals in their bodies. Its flesh is truly excellent.
It can be filleted, and there's quite a lot of flesh compared to its size.
So it is a fleshy and tender fish, ideal for carpaccio. The couple who run this restaurant are convinced.
It's a cheap, delicious, easy to prepare and really tasty fish. Everyone should try it.
It's scary, yes, but if you eat it, you're doing a good deed. It's better to eat millions of lionfish than the last tuna in the Mediterranean.
The Mediterranean is one of the fastest warming areas in the world, and the lionfish is not expected to stop in Greece. As temperatures increase, the predator will likely move west to waters off Italy and France.
Now, in our Entre Nous segment, we can bring in our environment editor, Valerie de Camp. Valerie, good to see you. There are 3,500 species that are now considered invasive in the world. How exactly did this happen?
Well, there are all kinds of invasive species, plants, animal, insects, and as you said, out of 37,000 exotic species, 3,500 are considered invasive. So climate change has certainly amplified the problem. We saw in that report warming waters and lionfish essentially making their way on their own into the Mediterranean. But the majority of invasive species were actually introduced to an area by humans, accidentally or not. A good example of that, the blue crab, also ravaging ecosystems in the Mediterranean. It's native to the North Atlantic. It traveled across the ocean in the ballast waters that ships carry in order to stay afloat. And so you see there, the blue crab, also a major invasion in Mediterranean waters. But you also have kind of voluntarily, species having been voluntarily introduced. The rabbit in Australia is one of the oldest invasive species. It was introduced in the 1900s to be hunted for sport, and just 24 species resulted in one of the largest, invasive species cases that we have seen of a mammal.
So how much of a threat are they really?
They're a major threat. According to the UN, they're one of the main drivers of biodiversity loss in the world, alongside with pollution, climate change, land use change. And so we know that they have contributed to about 40% of all known animal extinctions. And so very real threat. They can really throw off balance a very delicate equilibrium in ecosystems with cascading effects. You might remember the deadly fires in Hawaii nearly 2 years ago. Well, we know that a non-native grass helped to intensify the fires there. So very real economic impact with, invasive species costing about $400 billion every single year, and also health impacts. The tiger mosquito, an interesting example as well, colonizing several countries in Europe and bringing diseases.
We saw in that report one solution, if you can't beat it, eat it, was the line, I believe. What else can be done to slow down the proliferation of these invasive species?
Right. Well, on an individual level, there are things that we can do, and that is being aware that certain species do not belong in our backyards. And that is because, exotic plants and animals are becoming increasingly popular. And so avoid transporting, buying those species. An interesting, a good example, I think, is pampa grass, which you can see here. Very popular with tall grasses with fluffy white feathers. You might have seen them in bars, restaurants, sometimes even in gardens. Well, they're actually an invasive species, and they have been banned in Spain, France, California, and Australia as well because of its invasive nature. Then, very important, if you happen to buy a pet that happens to be an exotic invasive species, never release it back into the natural environment, of course.
Valerie, thank you very much for that. Valerie de Kemp there.